Zero In on Carolina is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Taste the feeling.
For Carolina football, I'm Taylor Vippolis. Today I'm joined by the punter from Down Under, Tom Sheldon. Tom, before you came to America, what were you kind of doing in Australia?
I was working in construction, Vip, so there's a couple of companies. One I was sort of working with, learnt the ropes a bit, and then I was working with my dad's company, just sort of working in sort of like road construction and highway construction and that sort of stuff. So
When did you make the decision that you wanted to come over to America and play football?
about Christmas time, we were on vacation with the family, and I'd been doing a little bit of kicking beforehand, and then got a call from I think Coach Fedora and a few others, and then from the sort of kicking academy I was with over there, and then made the decision a couple of days later, and it was all systems go.
Did you have other choices besides Carolina, and if you did, why did you choose Carolina?
Nah, Carolina was the first team we spoke to, and that was a good fit, so it was a bit different to, I suppose, a normal recruit who, once Carolina was on the cards, that was sort of the only people we dealt with. And
What did you know about American football before coming over?
I knew a bit about the NFL, but very little about college football, so that was probably one of the reasons why, I had no real interest in looking elsewhere, because I didn't know much about it anyway, so yeah.
You played Australian rules football, right?
Yeah.
What's the biggest differences between Australian rules football and American football?
It's virtually a completely separate game. Like there's very little similarities in it, apart from the only translation's really the brief bit of kicking I do in this game compared to our game back home's 95% kicking.
In Australian rules football, it's way less padding. Uniforms you can see more of yourself.
Yeah.
Do you like the pads more, or do you like the free flowing?
Probably for what I do, it's easier kicking without pads and without the helmet on. But after seeing some of how hard the guys hit out there, I'm pretty happy to have it on.
Is there still times where you feel like you're still learning the rules of American football?
Yeah, definitely. Like Nick's onside kick on the weekend. I had no idea what was going on when it was getting reviewed, and just sort of sit back and try not to say too much and seem like a fool if I do.
I think my favorite part was, it was going into the third game of the season when you came up to Nick and you were like, this game I want you to do the onside, after the safety I want you to kick it off. And Nick kind of had to explain to you that safeties don't happen all the time. And then I think we got safety that game.
Yeah, I think the first 2 or 3 games we had a safety in it. And the first one I ran out there at Georgia and not really knowing what to do, and just got told to kick it as high and far as you can.
When you first came over to Chapel Hill, what were your first impressions?
Beautiful place, particularly where I'm from in Australia, it's a lot sort of drier, probably more like an Arizona type place. So you get here and there's trees everywhere, green, not a blade of lawn out of place. Yeah.
Did you think when you were first coming over that you would be the starter right from game one, and how do you think you've done so far?
I was always reasonably confident that I thought I'd win the starting job. Joey had a great pre-season, and he's punted really well sort of every practice as well. So, but yeah, I was always pretty confident. How I've gone so far, I think reasonably solidly. Last game on Saturday is probably my best game I've had so far, so hopefully I can keep building off that coming into the back half of the year.
What's your relationship with Nick Weiler like? You two seem like you're inseparable out there on the field.
Sort of Nick, I don't have a car at the moment, so Nick's me wheels everywhere, so I have to sort of hang on his hip a bit just to get anywhere. So yeah, no, he's a great guy, Nick. He's helped me out a heap sort of since I've been here. He's taken me under his wing and shown me the ropes, so yeah, no, he's a great guy.
What do you miss the most about Australia?
Probably like playing our footy back home, sort of all the mates you've got back there, that, just that sort of stuff. But this, doing this every weekend kind of, well and truly makes up for it.
Have you been to Outback Steakhouse yet?
No, I haven't yet, but I've heard good things.
Good things?
Yeah.
What are your goals for the rest of the season, and where do you want to see the team go?
Well, firstly, see the team go as far as possible. I think we've got a side that can sort of, that can go a long way. And my goals personally are just to do a good job for the team and keep sort of winning the field position battle and yeah, just keep sort of, if we have to punt, hopefully not too often, but doing a good job and getting us out of a bit of trouble.